I might be streaming. Where's the chat? There we go. Okay, hi everyone. So we should have no problems with audio or visual, even for that matter, for this stream. I re-downloaded OBS, and I think I worked out all the audio issues. So I don't know. We'll see. I could be wrong. I thought I've done this before too, but what the fuck? Hi everyone. Wait, I have to sign into my chat apparently. And it's, why isn't it? It doesn't remember me. I don't know. I don't remember my password. I have no idea. Let's see. Verifying it's you. Complete sign in using your passkey. My pass. Oh, that's right. I don't know. Wait a minute. Okay, nope, not in there. Okay, if I can't sign in, I can't sign in. So be it. And authenticator. I don't have Google on here. Damn it. I have no idea. I don't know why it won't let me. I don't know what this means. I don't. Okay, try another way. I don't know my password. What's a passkey? I don't even know what a passkey is. Oh, well, fuck it. I guess I'm not going to be signed into chat. I'll just use whatever, YouTube for chat. Let me get rid of this doc. Okay. I'm back. All right, I can leave that as it is. I'm going to go switch over to that right now. And then, let's see here. What am I doing? All right, so for those of you who are not aware, there's been another series of body cams that have been released regarding Lauren Matthias, however you pronounce it, and her locale ringing. And it's just, it gets more ridiculous, I think, with every one that gets released. I mean, yeah, they're entertaining and all, don't get me wrong, but at some point, you know, you just kind of feel kind of icky because, like, the exploitation, the entitlement, the unrecognized privilege, it's just, it gets to be a lot. So I'm going to be pulling these from this channel called Hella Excited Utterance. And I really, really appreciate, I highly suggest people go and sub because she's entertaining. The content's, you know, right up there with everything I think myself and the chat are interested in. But what I really, really enjoy about this is, like, she does live streams and everything where she does commentate on these videos, but she also just uploads the video for other people to watch, just the video. Like, she's making me want to do that for anyone else who might want to just obtain it and whatever. So I think I might do that. But for now, I'm going to start with the very first one that's been released out of this series. So this took place in Henderson, Nevada. For whatever reason, Lauren was over at Greyson's house, seemingly like she lives there, like as a roommate almost. I don't think she says she does, but I can't think of any other reason.
I'm a makeup artist who doesn't love traditional.
A grown-ass woman's apartment would be so much in disarray and just so, shit. The image of just everything flung about while your boss is in the house. I can't think of any other reason for that to be acceptable than other than if your boss lives there with you or stays there with you, one or the other, because that's just crazy. Any other excuse or reason is just crazy in my opinion. But yeah, and I'm not knocking anyone's housekeeping skills. Believe me, I'm the last fucking person to talk, and I know this, you know, and I've always been like that. I just, you know, I just don't like housework, but you do what you have to do, and when you don't even do that, then, you know, maybe not put yourself in a position where it gets put on a body cam. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
Foundation. That's why I.
Let me see here. Let me skip this. Let me get over here. Beginning, and then let me pull up the chat real quick so I can see the chat. Oh, wait a minute. I can do this. There I am. Okay. And who do we have here? Sorry, this is my first time seeing the chat since I started the stream. My hair is a mess too. I don't care. I have to work in a little while. Hi, Mr. Blackwell. Hey, Taboo Topics. How are you guys doing? Here, let me put this on. I'll chat. You can hear me? Good. Yeah, you can hear me, so my voice isn't skipping. I'm not having any internet issues. Yeah, the OBS, for some reason, it streams a lot smoother than StreamYard's. And I prefer OBS. It's just my OBS wasn't working with my computer for, like, the longest time. It wouldn't start unless it was in safe mode. And in safe mode, you can't use all your extensions. So, what the fuck's the point? Anyway. What's this? I'm not on members only, right? No, I'm not. Okay. That thing was all, like, lit up in blue. I didn't know what the hell that meant. Okay. So let's get going. Let's start watching this shit. Why am I getting an ad again already? Oh, it's mute.
140 GS.
Okay, let me know that you guys can hear this okay, too.
All right.
Lily, off.
You Greyson or?
Yes, I'm
Okay.
Greyson.
Okay, so how can I help you today?
I'm gonna get my boss.
I need to run some.
I didn't do anything in my hands, so like I have like my hands get really dry, my skin gets really dry, especially in the wintertime, and I'm always washing my hands and shit at work. So I have like dry cracked skin right here, and it just kind of cracked open. But that spot's a really difficult place to put a Band-Aid on without it just instantly peeling off the second you grab something. So I put it on, I put a little bit of the dressing tape to hold it in place, and this keeps it from getting snagged and start falling off and shit and stuff. And this is really handy when you have a cut right there. So in here, this one, I had a staph infection on my finger, which is very common if you're a bartender. Like you get like those little infections, and oftentimes they can turn into staph, but they usually resolve themselves. And for me anyways, for like a day or two. This one I had to go to urgent care for the other day, get antibiotics, but it's almost all cleared up now. We had to drain it there, so I want to keep it covered until it heals. Otherwise, it might get infected again. So, but thanks for asking.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for coming,
Yeah.
officer.
Okay.
Where do we start?
Yeah, so she's a public figure online,
Okay.
and we have people threatening to extort her. This started in April. They started with public threats. We have pretty good, solid proof that former employers had hacked her iCloud account,
Okay.
and then posted stuff online that they were gonna go public with her messages, and then things
Private
settled,
messages.
yeah, and then things settled down, and then the last couple weeks things have been ramping up again. We've got somebody sent us an email today that was sent out.
This has gone as far as news fiction and law and crime. So I'm a true crime reporter.
Okay.
And like Law and Crime and even News Nation are
Okay.
reaching out about my private messages. So this is like national, and I think why it's an extra big concern. It's actually not just about me, as you know, as a police officer. True crime is true. It's real. People forget that. There are. I'm an investigative journalist.
Okay.
I have been to numerous trials. I work with numerous victims.
Mhm.
And if these private messages of mine come out between employees, it won't just be me that's harmed. It's going to be a lot of people
Okay.
that is harmed. And we have...
Yeah, but why are they going to be harmed? I mean, people get their text messages released all the time. That doesn't always harm people. Unless you're saying some really foul shit in your text messages as they're released. I mean, that's why people might be harmed. It's not because people are just putting them out there. It's because you were talking all kinds of shit. I mean, I have no idea what kind of shit she was talking. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe she's envisioning something more than it is. I don't know. But if you're that worried about it, you got to realize that you could have just chose not to talk all the crazy shit. Or save that kind of shit talking with just you and your husband or something. You know what I mean?
Private emails that have now come from a Proton email saying true crime, more like true lies. We know you've been talking about all these people to name all these victims that are nationally known victims. Like we were just at the Gabby Petito Foundation dinner. Like we work with numerous high profile victims of crime. Like, and again, these are I share off the record conversations with them. The things that like people
Off the record conversations with who when you say them?
the ex-employees.
Okay.
Because they're my employees, and I'm like, hey, I learned this information. I'm going to go forward with this. We can't say this.
Did you have an NDA with them?
I did not.
There's the big challenge right there.
They posted threats online for
Okay.
to release her her private stuff.
And we have sent
We'll have to-
from a report.
I'd have to see what those are.
Yeah.
Do you have a lawyer already?
I have a lawyer that is my brother. He sent cease and desist, and someone wrote back saying, okay, dear Lawrence brother. I mean, he's a good lawyer, so that's why I use
Yeah.
him. But, they...
You guys can't hear this, okay, right?
But yeah, he sent cease and desist and said these are very private, and he cited case law and laws. And I have those, the cease and desist set. And
Cited the computer fraud for hacking.
Well, did you share your password with employees so they could do things under your premise? Like in your absence, he says, here's my password. Go ahead and...
I sent them some passwords, but then the employment terminated.
Okay.
And I changed what I thought were all my passwords, and I am concerned that I had given them, I did not ever give them permission to get in an iCloud whatsoever.
Okay.
Yeah, but come on. Okay, especially as someone her age, you know damn well she uses the same password on every fucking account. I mean, a lot of us probably do that, but we shouldn't. I know we shouldn't. But come on, she does. So you may not have specifically said, hey, this is my iCloud password. You could have said, hey, this is my fucking Gmail password, and they just assumed that it was also your iCloud password, and they probably assumed correctly. In my opinion, I don't know.
The employment had terminated, and I actually think they figured out how to get into it.
Okay.
So that was a matter of permission.
I'm not a big IT person, so
Right.
I mean,
know.
how they could hack it, because Apple's one of the hardest things to hack. So it would have to be... I'm leaning more to the point of a shared password that wasn't changed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when were they terminated? Did you have a termination letter, or what'd you have?
Yeah, I have termination letters.
But you don't know who's... So it sounds like there's more than one there's more than one person that could be doing
There's
this.
multiple people involved.
I don't think she has termination letters.
Of who's involved, and they are telling me you need to be prepared for this to go public. They want her head on a platter. They want to destroy her.
Okay.
Like, these people are. I have the first threat here, and I have the email that we got.
So what's the threat? What's the words of the threat?
This one was public service announcement. So, for context, she had a private relationship with another person who works for her this day, and just that she was really upset about the falling out and how this ended, the employment stuff ended. And 2 hours later, this goes on social media. Public service announcement. You better quit buying private before the truth gets told in public. I'm not sure if you're suffering from delusions or amnesia, but you're trying to play with OG Crash House. We don't mind me exposing what needs to be exposed. Didn't act you as a courtesy, but don't mistake that for hesitation. They posted that in a public forum.
Okay.
And then at first,
Take a screenshot of that if you can.
Oh, I have it.
Okay.
At first, I told her, I'm not sure that this is what you think it is. Like, this could just be coincidence. And then...
Or an idle, a threat in a sense of, oh, we have stuff on you, but maybe they don't.
Right. Well, and I was like, how would they have... But how would they have gotten that message?
Yeah. Give me one.
And then, like, probably a half hour into it, he's probably like, fuck. Oh, my God.
All right, thanks a lot, man.
I know what.
So when they posted this, they said, I'm not sure. But I started digging. By that point, you had lost access to your emails. That we thought was really strange.
So Lauren Matthias is one of the co-anchors or whatever for the channel Hidden True Crime. It's a true crime channel. Has over like 300,000 followers. And she pretty much started tanking her own career when she did a 9-hour live about a couple months ago. 9 hours to talk about how someone who just shared their experience with Lauren on their TikTok account, never saying Lauren's name, just called her ex-friend, was harassment. So Lauren went and she obtained a TRO. She strategically got it to where she would ruin Christina's attempt and purchase of the CrimeCon convention tickets. So then after that, they went to court, and Lauren then learned that one of the big true crime channels was applying to the court for permission to stream these proceedings, and that's when she dismissed her TRO. So yeah, that's where she is.
We're like, that's weird. You've lost access to your emails. I was able to recover those and lock everything down. I could tell that things had been messed with.
Okay.
And then we went to a trial that we were reporting at 2 weeks later, and somebody came up to you and said, all your messages are everywhere. We'll have them.
And they're horrible.
And so that's when and other people.
If they're everywhere, then how come no one can see them? Like, I want to see them. Like, I'll be honest, I do. I want to see them. I don't give a shit. I'm not ashamed. But if I can't find them and obtain them, then they're not out everywhere. They're just not.
Did they say specific though? Because to say there's a lot of them out there that's not specific. That's just I'm just trying to say that somebody truly saw, or they're saying that they saw.
We received some of the messages that are out there.
You received the messages that somebody else.
Screenshots
Okay.
of my private messages
Okay.
from a person that shouldn't have had them.
Okay.
And exactly what I thought. This person was hurt by things said about her in private.
Okay.
You know, I apologize, but again, like I said, people just think this is a fun game for them, and like there's one person who volunteered for me, for example. I'm just using an example. Who's I learned is suicidal.
Mm-hmm.
And behind the scenes, as she's volunteering for me, behind the scenes, people are complaining. My employees are complaining about this person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, look, I know, she's annoying, but like, just deal with it.
Yeah.
If she gets this, like, you know what I mean? Like, this is like, to me, I'm like, and I know you guys deal with this every day. Like, people are assholes, but like, she could self-harm. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is so.
She could self-harm, so you're just talking shit about her behind her back to other people saying, yeah, I know she's annoying, but just fucking stop it. You know, like, wow.
Setting on so many levels, not just like, oh, woe is me.
Right.
Like, I care about all these people.
I get it. But my job is to decipher if there's a criminal act or not.
Correct. Okay.
So I'm there's a lot of crummy people out there that are horrible to other people, whether it's child against a parent against a child, saying ugly things, saying many ugly things, which is despicable, but it's not against the law.
Sure.
So that's what I need to do is decipher if a crime has been committed, and then what route we would go down to trying to prove that.
Yeah. Correct.
Because cybercrime is it's a whole different challenge and stuff.
So I agree.
And
I hear what you're saying.
if they're not asking for money, it's hard to say that there's extortion there. Okay.
Okay.
So, or asking for something in return. That's hard to say that there's extortion because, I mean, if you look at just the political arena, people have dirt on people, have dirt on people, have dirt on people.
Right.
Hey, I'm going to let this out if, you don't do this for me.
Sure.
That would be extortion, sure. But if for being vindictive or saying, I know you're not telling the truth, so unless you tell the truth, I'm going to let this out. That's not really for money or personal gain. That's just saying, hey, I'm going to out you.
Right.
Right? So the crime in that is, there's no real crime. So then
yeah, this is pretty stupid, but that's the thing though. I mean, that's the shit that she said about her alleged stalker there, Christina, the one she took out the TRO on, and the way that she tried to ruin this woman's life, and the way even her husband chimed in trying to diagnose her and saddle her down with all of these crazy extreme diagnoses, mental health diagnoses, and really pushed and supported this woman being thrown in jail for literally nothing. That's the stupidest thing of all, in my opinion. So that's more or less why I'm covering this, because that sense of entitlement there, it was just setting Lauren on this track to do a lot of harm to a lot of people who didn't deserve it. And that's fucked up, I think. But
it comes down to, you did share passwords with persons, so it would be like, well, when were these conversations or when were these emails compared to, did they forward themselves the emails or copy the emails, 10 weeks ago, compared to they were fired 2 weeks ago and got in there and got them within the last 2 weeks. I mean, if there was something that you could say, yes, this is a conversation I had 2 weeks ago, nobody knew about it prior, and all of a sudden now they know about it, then it's like, okay, well, they shouldn't know about it because you changed your passwords, and we can cut the date off at this. 10 weeks ago was a conversation compared to 2 weeks ago was a conversation. These people were let go 4 weeks ago, so there's no way they should have known this stuff, because that's where the NDAs come in hugely. Huge. NDAs are lifesavers.
I gotta say, out of this, I mean, I haven't watched much of the first or the second one, but I watched a good portion of the third installment here. And this officer is pretty impressive. Like, he shouldn't be an officer. He should really be an investigator, because I think he'd be a pretty effective one. We're not going to get to all three parts today, but as we do continue and get to all three.
For people like you.
Was it considered a public figure? And then I got.
You trusted them, and unfortunately, I mean, I've had a small business, so I get it.
Yeah.
They're great until they're not.
Right, and then it sucks. And then now that I'm a public figure, and there are other people that could be really hurt by this. Yeah.
So
And the other people to be hurt, then they would be the victims, though, not you. So I understand that you're feeling for them, and you don't want them to be hurt. I understand that. But at that point, if they are hurt, that would be them going after persons based on them being the victim of whatever that is. Does that make sense?
June 9th. June 9th was the second one.
Right. So he's understanding. I just want you to know. At first, we were like, we just gave him what we've explained right now is like, look, I am the victim, but we have a big concern about the actual victims in the cases we cover, and then being re-victimized by my pieces. Yeah, by my private.
And imagine how these victims must feel. Like, she talked about some people in the Daybell family or whatever. Like, imagine your family members were murdered by other people in your family, and then this was like hidden. And I mean, like, you lost people before this. You just thought that you lost them natural causes. Come to find out, no, man, it was all connected, and that these people were killing people in your family for quite some time. And so you're going through all this turmoil of a trial and everything else, and having to hear all of these details and shit, and knowing that the entire world knows about what happened, and they're watching it all right there along with you. And then you have these like true crime reporters or whatever on YouTube, and I say it like that because like they're not, I mean, there's a lot of good ones out there are, but there's also some shit ones, and the ones that are shit are like really shitty. Okay, so imagine though you have these YouTube content creators just following your struggle or whatever, your whole ordeal, your family's whole ordeal, and faking the intention of being there for you as a victim here, or as a survivor, however you want to put it. And then the next thing you know, you find yourself having to fucking talk to a police officer or whatever because he called you up saying, hey, did you hear anything about people sharing screenshots of emails and trying to embarrass like one of these content creators? And you just imagine that. Imagine that moment when you're like, where the fuck did I go wrong in my life? Like, seriously.
Messages that come out. So at first, I just want you to know, and he understands that this is officer. What was your last name? I'm sorry. Bowlby. He's great, and and we're working with circumstantial evidence right now. We know that he understands again that we don't want to re-victimize any victims. So at first, we're like, well, we know who you could figure out the source from and has all the information.
I am doing good.
Wouldn't consider me a friend right now, but
I'm good.
she had the information, and so he was going to call her. And now I'm rethinking because I think that could put fuel on the fire. I'm just thinking about protecting everyone else. Do we want him to? I don't know if we should have him call Gigi right now or not. He wants to know because I don't want to hurt. Like, would that like make them release stuff now because they're angry, right? Is this the Streisand effect where
I want. So can you hear me?
He can hear you, or you're on.
Okay. The most important thing is we're about to have,
This is a Streisand effect. In fact, you're taking something that no one would have known about probably. Like, no one was even looking to release these text messages, it seemed like, until you started fucking filing TROs and shit on people and cease and desists or whatever. And now it's like you just Streisand the fuck out of it so badly that you might as well just walk around calling people Yentl, I mean, what the fuck? How did you not see this coming? I mean, especially being in true crime, or being in media even.
All our hard work is about to be threatened or go down the drain in a minute, in an instant, right? Like,
In other words, dear Lauren, he blames you. He's going to blame you for when you two inevitably just lose it all. You lose the money you have coming in, the notoriety, the clout, whatever. He's going to blame you because right now he's already saying we're this close to losing it all. Why is that? Because your true thoughts might potentially see the light of day here. I'm not saying that I should necessarily agree with him on that, only because I think he's just as culpable, really. But that's about all.
I mean, my goal is to get them to stop publishing private emails, text, voicemails. Right? They hacked into our stuff. It's illegal text, voicemails. Right? They hacked into our stuff.
Oh, I had to know.
It's illegal by Nevada statute and federal law. for them to share private information.
This isn't private information, though. You've entered into a conversation with someone else. It's not a private part of your information, unless you have your social security number posted in there, and then they put that out, and maybe, but this isn't private information. You know.
Without our consent, we never get consent.
You don't have to get consent.
If calling her is going to prevent them or stop them from publishing, then it's probably worth it.
But if it's not, she's not going to be the one that publishes it. So it's just like,
well, it'll get back to the source, though. And also, I mean, can he call?
Well, let's say he calls. Let's say he calls and he says, "There's no law that's frozen right now," as she asks. Does that empower them?
Well, but they know. I'm sure the officer knows the Nevada statutes. Nevada's a two-party consent state. You can't just share private stuff without consent.
Oh my God!
You never gave consent.
Here's where
it's terrifying. It's terrifying to me that, you know, and it should be terrifying to like every citizen in Nevada, that somebody can just take your private correspondence and put it on blast publicly.
So this is not my exact forte, right? I'm a patrol officer. I already said that I talked to my sergeant about this, and if we have to get a detective involved, we will. At the same time, though, there was no non-disclosure agreement. So if she gave passwords to employees to do business on her behalf, then there's kind of a gray area of how public is it compared to private.
I never gave.
Or part of the business doings per se.
You know, my concern is the whole text of, like, these will be shown by your text messages. Like, they're very clear that they are releasing your text messages. And the fact that they were in your iCloud account, which is cited...
I've never given them a password to my iCloud.
Like,
and you've seen it...
Again, I'm going to reiterate this. I might beg to differ. And I say this only because she's probably close to my age. I think she's younger than me, but not by much. She's in her 40s, I would say. And I know myself and... Well, maybe myself. I'm not going to say. Whatever. A lot of people use the same password across many different platforms, okay? So even she can sit here and say, well, I didn't give him my iCloud password. But I'm thinking that there's a good chance she did. She just gave it to them as like a fucking Google password instead. But it would have worked on iCloud as well. Maybe. My opinion.
You seen a copy of a particular text then?
I've seen somebody show me one in person. Yeah, I've seen things.
Or do you have it sent to you right now? One that you know for a fact is from your iCloud account?
Do we have one from...
Do you? Did you get it?
Here's what we usually do. We go by the screenshots showing the proof of, and I mean,
yeah.
It's kind of like a financial crime in a sense. We need all this documentation.
Yo, that was a fucking dig. He's just like, okay, here's how we do this. We go by evidence. We need to see the proof. So perhaps you go and find the evidence and then come and see me. He, in a roundabout way, that's what he said.
You know, the bank account records and all that other stuff, you know? So having all this stuff, you can talk about it, you can say I saw it, but without the proof, once again, there's not a lot to go off of, or nothing to go off of. So the proof is what we need.
I think if he calls...
How did she not know
the worst freaking state to live in?
Like, how did she not know that as a true crime, I don't know, cover content creator or whatever? How did she not know that she was going to have to present proof in order for any type of legal action to be taken? I mean, does she think she's really, really cute or something?
It says, you know, we're aware of the fact that you believe that, you know, that you see texts that are private correspondence.
These ones aren't iCloud, but these are her private messages that have been sent around and were emailed to us.
If you call, you know, if you call and say, we have information.
They're crossing out names of who's in it.
Wait. John, wait, hold on, John. There's two people talking. Hold on. Okay, go ahead, John.
So you have the officer be quiet? He's the one that you called to the apartment for his, like, expertise, for his assistance. They just seem rude as fuck, man.
We have information that you see private texts that have been shared with you from Lauren's iCloud account, which, by the way, is a crime. That's illegal. It's a federal crime because we're going across state lines. Like, you can't share private information.
Well, I don't enforce federal crime either, so the FBI would probably have to get involved with this.
Right, I agree. There's actually two federal crimes here. Yes, I know the FBI might have to jump in. Like,
because this may be more FBI than local.
That's what I'm thinking. I don't know.
We all agree with that.
But my biggest concern though, John, is if Henderson police calls, because this isn't their jurisdiction, they're not federal, and they say that we don't know if there's a crime that's been committed. If she asks that further, then it goes further. And if he's still trying to figure that out, he can't say there's been a crime that's been committed.
Do you have a lawyer already?
I have a lawyer that is my brother. He sent cease and desist, and someone wrote back saying, "Okay, dear Lawrence's brother." I mean, he's a good lawyer, so that's why I use him. But they but yeah, he sent cease and desist and said these are very private, and he cited case law and laws.
She did say she has files and everything.
She has files and files of emails and texts, including voice messages.
But where'd she get them from?
That's where you come in. We don't know.
Well, I thought you asked her.
We asked her, and she wouldn't tell us her source, so I think she would tell you. But that was the question. Like you said, would they tell? You don't have to call if you don't want to, but I'm just...
No. I mean, if she's not going to share with you, then I don't know why she would share with me, because she doesn't have to. I'm guessing she's in the industry, right?
She's in the industry, yeah.
So once she ruins her reputation by giving up sources, then what's her job going to be?
Mm-hmm. I think...
I'm not going to have a conversation with her.
I hear you.
So that's the challenge of being in this kind of situation.
So
I hear you, but I don't want to hear you. You make no sense.
I was also in the real news for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I kind of understand more how it works. She's an excellent journalist. She's a great journalist. She has not been in the real news, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I believe that if police called her, she might say that I received it from this person.
Okay.
But I hear you, and I respect that. Like journalists wouldn't share, and she might not, but I think she might.
Okay.
So that's the end of the first one. And then here's part 2.
We are gardeners.
The first one was kind of boring, it seems, but this one gets...
If you suffered a serious injury, you need a law firm you can trust. At DeFrancisco and Feltertana.
All of it will come to light. Your trash talking Kay Woodcock, Heather Daybell, Gigi, Justin Llama, Nate and Ashley Gibson, Susan Henderson, Rob Wood, Rachel Smith, and Ray Hermes. All of them are BCC'd on this email. Your text messages will prove it.
Okay.
Like they have her text messages.
But they haven't sent them out though.
They have. We just haven't. People are calling me saying I have them. I've got files.
So you've seen the text messages. Did they say where they got them from?
We know. I know
we could give you people who do know where they came from. So we called someone today.
So they would have to.
That's the person who said News Nation has reached out, Long Crime has reached out, and she said
they would have to be willing to work with us to help us find that. So that's the challenge as well. Because news people, they're like, we don't want to reveal our sources.
I think this person.
So that's the big challenge too.
I think she would.
Then is this going to be considered slander? Have you talked to your brother about slander?
We've talked about everything. I mean, I called him this morning. I had a meeting with him this morning when I started realizing how this kind of happened this morning. As I've been working behind the scenes for.
Yeah, slander spoken, right? I want to say slander spoken both with us and libel. I don't know why I was always associated with line, like writing on lines, but I could be having that backwards in my head because that happens a lot too.
For a few days trying to figure out what happened, and I get on a call with somebody this morning, and somebody said, "Is Stephanie a former employee of Lauren's?" And I said, "Yeah." Like I didn't know this person knew who that was. And this person tells me, okay, well, I was told I should call. Nicole gives me everything. She has all those screenshots. She's the one with everything.
Okay.
And sent a cease and desist. We knew she was one of the ones that was doing all this behind the scenes.
But then you'd have to prove that she shared after the fact.
Let's specify this. I think that somebody could tell you. I do think ex-police.
Yeah.
And if she knew that police were calling, I think that she might share the sources.
In other words, officer, will you please call her up and intimidate her and just put the pressure on her? Just, get her to sweat it out for me? Because that's why you have your job, is just to, service her whenever she gets a spat with someone. Put them in their place, please, officer. Like, for one, why wouldn't you want to put them in their place yourself? Like, that's half the fun.
She wouldn't share it with us.
Okay.
Do you think? And she's the one who said that she had heard from Long Crime and News Nation.
Okay, and so once again, hearing it and seeing it are two different things. Because
she said she received voice.
Hang on. Okay. Because then it becomes hearsay. So because they're calling her doesn't mean she has the information. So she has to be directly connected with the person. So a person goes to Newsweek or whatever. Newsweek comes back down. That's not from her. That's through completely different sources. It has to be direct.
So she said she has files and files of emails and texts, including voice.
Well, where'd she get them from?
So what?
I thought you asked her.
We asked her and she wouldn't tell us her source, so I think she would tell you. But that was the question. Like you said.
Didn't Lauren once employ this person or something? Didn't they know each other? So if she says that she has tons and tons of emails and text messages, why wouldn't the first assumption be, well, they must be the ones that she had with me, if she has them? You know, like, I don't know. It just seems like this whole concept of this other person admitting to having these things has been completely made up for that purpose. You know, something to blame it on. My opinion.
Would they tell?
Yeah.
You don't have to call if you don't want to, but I'm just.
No. I mean, if she's not going to share with you, then I don't know why she would share with me, because she doesn't have to. I'm guessing she's in the industry, right?
Yeah.
So once she ruins her reputation by giving up sources, then what's her job going to be?
I think.
I mean, I could have a conversation with her.
I hear you.
So that's the challenge of being in this kind of situation.
So I
hear you. I'm just not going to listen to you.
Was also in the real news for a long time.
The real news.
And so I kind of understand more how it works. She's an excellent journalist. She's a great journalist. She has not been in the real news. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, you know, that's kind of big, Lauren, I have to say, because like there's other people who I don't think would be able to admit that. The fact that she was able to admit that someone is an excellent journalist, even though they've never been in the real news before, I think it's a step in the right direction, maybe.
I believe that if police called her, she might say that I received it from this person.
Okay.
But you know, I hear you, and I respect that. Like journalists wouldn't share, and she might not, but I think she might.
Control 3 out of 1. I'm with PR before.
When I talked to her, she told me.
But I mean, I don't know. Maybe we don't want to. I mean, do you want to make this?
Have you talked? Has your brother suggested calling us?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and you could call my brother.
And what did he feel? What crimes did he feel that were surpassed? I should say.
Yeah.
Because some of that stuff is more civil than it is criminal.
Yeah. So he cited.
Extortion would be criminal, but other things within this could be more on a civil level than a criminal level.
Yeah. Forgive me, I'm getting some water.
That's fine. Do you have an identification or a driver's license I can just jot down quick? Do you got a Nevada driver's license or from another state?
I have a Nevada driver's license.
Okay.
Here is a cease and desist. He said, unauthorized access of private accounts, dissemination of private.
But we don't know that she did that after the fact or before. If she took all this information before the cease and desist. And here's the thing. I'm not saying it's possible one way or the other. What I'm saying is
he kind of shoots them down a lot from what I've seen in the bits and pieces of these videos. I'm just kind of surprised that this didn't create more animosity, I think.
anything that I would have that may be criminal would go before a judge or actually before a district attorney. Then the district attorney would have to look at it and say, yes, I think we have enough information to go forward into court. So in a sense, I almost act like a judge in a sense, being like, what do I have? Because if I don't have nothing, or if I have questionable information, or a third party is telling me this information by hearsay, I don't have nothing. I work on facts. That's what we do as police officers. We're supposed to.
Absolutely. No,
So that's so yeah, the information prior compared to the information after, that's where the NDA would have saved a lot of headaches. But the cease and desist, there would have to be proof of her continuing this process after the fact.
Right.
So that would be like contacting all these people that have this information and saying, who did you get it from? And them saying it was from her, and then say, when did you get it from her?
I'm sitting down to want information, not to.
We are gardeners.
We are.
When this comes back on. Like, if they would shoot, they're not going to show it right now.
So what it sounds like.
I'm sorry, say it again?
They might have texted between my husband and myself.
Okay.
He's my co-host. He's a criminal psychologist.
Okay.
And I hear you. You go by facts. I understand that. And a lot of this is in the works, right? So like, it's right.
Exactly.
I'm sharing. So we get it. We're sharing circumstantial evidence with you that could later become a fact. But I hear you. You need facts.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to figure this out. So thank you.
We're trying to create those facts.
So we get it.
We're trying to create them for you right now.
I'm a journalist. I work by facts too. And I know
which all journalists should.
Yeah, and I understand that circumstantial evidence.
I'm going to put this on.
Figuring it out. Let me call my husband. So he spoke Oh, he's with Baines. Well, I think you could speak briefly.
What's your phone number, real quick, since you're the victim?
Yeah. Sorry, I just hit the microphone. Boy, that was a loaded statement, I think.
I don't know if you know the Lori Vallow Daybell case. Do you know?
No, I like watching To Catch a Smuggler and stuff like that. And
Okay, well, it's a Netflix
the cops,
documentary.
bad boys, and so.
Yeah,
The other stuff interests me. It's just I don't have the time to sit down and.
Right. Well, that's this case that's really impacted that we
Uh-huh.
were covering. She mom who killed her two kids and her husband and the whole thing.
Mhm.
It's a very viral true crime case. That's what we've been
It has a
covering.
Netflix documentary to it. Dateline, 7 Datelines.
Yeah.
My husband spoke to the. Well, I don't want to get him involved. Again, I don't want to get a victim involved right now. So,
Okay.
Real
quick, what'd you say your friend's name is then, and a phone number that may talk to us?
Wait, now, was that the Daybell guy? She was saying that she didn't want to get him involved. Is that who she was talking about?
I don't know if she'd consider us a friend right now.
How do you spell her last name?
And she told me on the phone today, well, if you think this is against the law, then you should be getting law enforcement involved. I said, we've had attorneys involved in this for months. So she's well aware.
Right. So she said.
Well, then the attorney's going to be like, yes, I can see where this is breaking this law, so now we'll get him involved.
Full disclosure, she's received a lot of info because a lot of the private text messages have to do with her.
Okay.
So that's why I say I don't know if she'd consider me a friend right now.
No, somebody that's willing to talk. What's the phone number?
So Lauren just said that the reason why she received so much info is because a lot with her. So the only reason why she received so many of the text messages is because that's who Lauren was primarily talking shit about in there. Like, wow, that's crazy.
And she lives in what state?
I'm calling my husband on the phone right now just to.
So it sounds like there's a lot of emotional stuff and you're very upsetting stuff. I get it. So what area do you feel? Because right now, I hate to say it, but from my point of view, and I'm going to call my sergeant and probably get a detective involved, at least for the initial information. Right now, I'm not seeing a crime, but this isn't my forte either.
Sure. My husband does criminal assessments in the state of Nevada. So
Because people say a lot of crummy things about other people online and stuff, and then when it comes to threats and harassments, there has to be very specific threat/harass. Harassment is a series of things for the most part. A threat is got to be very specific, and it really stinks for us as police officers, but it's even worse for the victim or the person that's being victimized. And the reason I say that is somebody could say, "I'm going to come over."
Did my screen just cut out for you guys? Like, did the stream kind of jump out for a second? Because I think it did it on my iPad. Okay, play.
And make sure I take care of you. What does that mean?
Right.
Depends on what happened prior, right? We can document that kind of stuff, but does it mean they're going to come over and wash your car? Does it mean to come over and cook your food, tuck you into bed, or come over and, beat you up? It's not specific. It just says, I'm going to come over and take care. Where it's frustrating for victims is they're like, but I know what they meant by this. And it's like, I understand you're feeling this way, but based on the verbiage, we can't go down the criminal route right now because they're not being specific enough. And it really stinks because they look at us like, why aren't you doing anything? It's not. It's like, my hands are tied because the Nevada law doesn't, go down that road.
I understand what you're saying. Generate to it, Dateline, 7 Datelines. Yeah. My husband spoke to the. Well, I don't want to get him involved. So again, I don't want to get a victim involved right now. So.
Okay. Real quick, what'd you say your friend's name is then, and a phone number that may talk to us? Proper name?
Jennifer McKelvey.
I don't know if she'd consider us a friend right now.
How do you spell her last name?
McKelvey. And she told me on the phone today, well, if you think this is against the law, then you should be getting law enforcement involved. And I said, we've had attorneys involved in this for months. So she's well aware.
Right. So she said.
Well, then the attorney's going to be like, yes, I can see where this is breaking this law, so now we'll get him involved.
Full disclosure, she's received a lot of info because a lot of the private text messages have to do with her.
Okay.
So that's why I say I don't know if she'd consider me a friend right now.
No, somebody that's willing to talk. What's the phone number? And she lives in what state?
Louisiana.
I'm calling my husband on the phone right now just so he can understand.
So it sounds like there's a lot of emotional stuff and you're very upsetting stuff. I get it. So what area do you feel? Because right now, I hate to say it, but from my point of view, and I'm going to call my sergeant and probably get a detective involved, at least for the initial information. Right now, I'm not seeing a crime, but this isn't my forte either.
Sure. That was my husband.
Because there isn't.
My husband does criminal assessments in the state.
And there's the thing, like, I no doubt that there are people that were talking shit about Lauren, and I have no doubt that people were pissed off when they learned that she was talking shit about them in private, and I have no doubt that they then ran their mouths or whatever, or confronted Paul or Lauren, or just let it be known that they knew, really. So I have no doubt about any of that. But if you're going to stand up there and you're going to talk about people and you're going to lay judgment on their lives and their decisions and their families, their loved ones or whatever, if you're going to do that, then you have to expect that to come back around right to you. Because if you don't agree with that, then you effectively don't agree with what you're doing either. You know, that's just how it goes. And like, so I have no doubt that this was bothersome for her, and she has every right, really, to respond any way she wants. But just because you have a right to do something doesn't make it the right thing to do. And in my opinion, going to these extremes, calling the police to come over so you can fill out these reports and try to get someone served with an RO and everything, like, that's just too far. I don't think that... I don't know. I don't want to sit here and say that I don't think that she should have the right to do that, because you don't really want to start taking that shit away from people, because you never really know who needs it, you know? And you want it to be available to as many people as possible. This is just one of the shit things I think you got to deal with, and why things just need to be evaluated more. But, yeah, okay.
Good, Nevada. So he's licensed here in Nevada, Utah.
Because people say a lot of crummy things about other people online and stuff, and then when it comes to threats and harassments, there has to be very specific threat/harassment. Harassment is a series of things for the most part. A threat is got to be very specific, and it really stinks for us as police officers, but it's even worse for the victim or the person that's being victimized. And the reason I say that is somebody could say, I'm going to come over, you know, and make sure I take care of you. What does that mean?
Right.
Depends on what happened prior, right? We can document that kind of stuff, but does it mean they're going to come over and wash your car? Does it mean come over and cook your food, you know, tuck you into bed, or come over and, you know, beat you up? It's not specific. It just says, I'm going to come over and take care of you. So that's where it's frustrating for victims, is they're like, but I know what they meant by this. And it's like, I understand you're feeling this way, but based on the verbiage, we can't go down the criminal route right now because they're not being specific enough. Yeah. And it really stinks, because they look at us like, why aren't you doing anything? It's not. It's like, my hands are tied because the Nevada law doesn't, you know, go down that road.
I understand what you're saying. Yeah, I hear you. And like I said, there's probably going to be a lot more coming out in the next few days. So I don't know if there can be like a case number to, like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think you're right. We're working with some circumstantial evidence, but we are receiving new information every hour. So it could be that we're finally working with some not circumstantial evidence. So let me also talk to you about this. Let's, and this is me thinking as a whole about everybody involved. Do we want him to call Gigi right now? Could that escalate things?
It makes me wonder if they will go public right now, just because it's like, let's just get it off our plate.
Yeah. And again, I am the victim, but there will be other victims.
There'll be other people that'll be victims the second time. Yeah.
Yes.
It's like when they go to court and they let.
Is it just me, or does it just sound like really off-putting? Like there's something wrong. Like so many people want to be known as victims, and not that there's anything wrong with being a victim. No, of course not. I pass no judgment on anyone who's been a victim. I more or less, if I were in those shoes, it's not that I would feel shame for being a victim. It's that I would not want to give someone the satisfaction of knowing that they effectively victimized me. I don't want to do that. That's my problem. So, but it seems like there's a lot of people in this community or whatever that just, they don't mind giving that power over. They don't mind letting it be known that that power has been handed over, you know? Like, I'm surprised that doesn't bother more people here, because I would think that it would, especially in this type of community, you know?
A killer free or something like that, or let them off with 2 years.
Correct.
Then they get victimized a second time.
Correct. This is my husband.
You know, both by the suspect and by the state.
Correct. Hey, babe,
Yeah. You know, that's where it's like, I don't know if it's worth it.
We have a police officer here.
Sometimes there's that case, like neighbors, problems with neighbors. Sometimes they don't want us to contact the neighbor because they're afraid it'll inflame things.
Yes, yeah, you know.
Right. So he's understood. I just want you to know, at first we were like, we just gave him, what we've explained right now is like, look, I am the victim, but we have a big concern about the actual victims in the cases we cover and then being re-victimized by my pieces, by my private messages that come out. So at first, I just want you to know, and he understands that this is officer. What was your last name? I'm sorry. Bolby. He's great, and and we're working with circumstantial evidence right now. We know that. He understands, again, that we don't want to re-victimize any victims. So at first we were like, well, we know who you could figure out the source from and has all the information. He said Gigi McKelvey, who wouldn't consider me a friend right now, but she had the information. And so he was going to call her. And now I'm rethinking because I think that could put fuel on the fire. I'm just thinking about protecting everyone else. Do we want him to? I don't know if we should have him call Gigi right now or not. He wants to know.
She still wants
because I don't want to hurt.
Call or not. Wow.
Like, would that make them release stuff now because they're angry, right? Is this the Streisand effect where?
Holiday joy starts in Michael.
Okay, there we go.
I want, so can you hear me?
He can hear you or you're on.
Okay. The most important thing is we're about to have, all our hard work is about to be threatened or go down the drain in a minute, in an instant, right? Like, my goal is to get them to stop publishing private emails, text, voicemails, right? They hacked into all our stuff. It's illegal by Nevada statute and federal law for them to share private information without our consent. We never get consent.
Didn't we listen to this part?
If calling her is going to prevent them or stop them from publishing, then it's probably worth it.
But if it's not, she's not going to be the one that publishes it.
It'll get back to the source.
Third-party people would have to be willing to talk to us to give up their source to say, yes, it came straight from this person. And if they're investigative reporters, I don't know how many investigative reporters are going to want to give up their sources because that's going to tarnish their reputation. So if we had a way to figure that out without them, not saying we can't call them, but if there's a way to figure that out without them, then that'd be more beneficial for sure.
I listen to this, and I'm listening to bits and pieces. It's very hard to follow. You don't really know who actually sent what to whom because of all of these crazy claims we've made. Oh, well, this person said this and that person said that. We saw screenshots of him, but we didn't actually see him. It's just because. So how do you know what the fuck happened if you can't get a straight answer out of two people who, allegedly, bore witness to everything? How is it that they can't just come right out and tell you exactly what happened? Huh? Oh my God.
You haven't shared anything.
We have encrypted emails from people that are obviously the source. I just don't know. Is there anyone at Metro that could figure out where these are coming from? Because that's where we want to go.
That's why it says this isn't my forte, so I'm not sure. If anybody, would have to be a special detective that works with computer crimes.
And what about the harassment aspect too? I want to point out the harassment aspect because again, we're getting these cryptic Proton emails saying you're about. We blind copied all these people, even though you blind copy people so that people don't know you blind copied them, and they're like, we blind copied everyone.
What the fuck does blind copy mean? I never even heard that.
Doing this, we are outing you.
Yeah, there's
multiple emails like that.
But it's funny though. There is someone who's used a Proton email, that I know of anyway. Only I can't talk about them, so can't tell you who.
Also, I
can talk about them, but whatever. I'm not going to. I don't care to.
Lies and harassment. Why are they doing that? This is a game to them. This is, you know what I mean? They're
like I said, there's a lot of ugly people that do stupid things and they're mean people that bully people and stuff like that. It doesn't mean it's a crime.
Right.
So I get what you're saying with the possibility of doing this, and even the blind copy, not knowing who those people are, if there are people. It's that's what we don't know right now.
One of them is another person that I don't know.
Extortion a crime?
Extortion would be them asking for something. Did they ask for money or anything?
No, unfortunately.
I haven't seen that. You just checked that email out today. What are they threatening? Well, they're threatening our livelihood. That's a bit gray. I don't know about that. They're just saying to put out information. So I'll tell you what. I'll talk to my sergeant right now with what I have, and we'll see if I'll see. They'll probably end up getting in touch with our cyber detective, and see how this might play out. Okay. Yeah, I know, officer. By the way, just as an aside, I worked not in the last few years, but I've worked closely with your I have in the past your internet sex crimes,
Uh-huh.
and I've done a lot of evaluations on sex offenders that got put away. Obviously, that's a very different crime, but I just want to say that I've always appreciated Metro and worked closely with you guys, and thank you for listening to us. I think the problem here is, right, I know technically since they haven't published this stuff, it's kind of hard to say it's a crime, but on the other hand, they're according to Gigi, they're like minutes away from publishing this stuff, so
which isn't a crime.
We're trying to salvage our reputation.
Well, not just our reputation, but
trying to be
the
you're trying to be proactive. I get it.
Yeah.
No, he's trying. He's trying to control and manipulate the situation to his liking. They both are. They both want to control what everyone else is doing in regards to things that they said. But when you say the things you say, or when you type the things you type, you send them out into the world. Sure, you may be putting in a path to an intended spot, but after that, they're no longer in your control. You no longer have control over it. The recipient does, and the recipient can pretty much do whatever they want because it's also theirs. I keep hitting the microphone. I'm sorry.
Well, not just our reputation, but
you're trying to be proactive. I get it.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I don't know. It is a little confusing. Technically, after the damage is done, yeah, you've got federal crimes.
Why does it keep going lower?
Right? But and maybe they're just playing a game. Maybe they're not going to publish. I mean, unfortunately, we have sources that have said that they've seen some of the emails and they know they're coming. So I don't know. I don't know what to do. We can that's right.
My concern is the whole text of these will be shown by your text messages. They're very clear that they are releasing your text messages, and the fact that they were in your iCloud account, which is cited.
I've never given them the password to my iCloud.
And you've seen a direct copy of a particular text then?
I've seen somebody show me one in person. Yeah, I've seen things.
Or do you have it sent to you right now? One that you know for a fact is from your iCloud account?
Do we have one from?
Did you get it?
Because here's what we usually do: we go by the screenshots showing the proof of, and I mean, it's kind of like a financial crime in a sense. We need all this documentation, the bank account records and all that other stuff, So having all this stuff, you can talk about it, you can say I saw it, but without the proof, once again, there's not a lot to go off of, or nothing to go off of. So the proof is what we need.
I think if somebody official with law enforcement calls Gigi and says, we're aware of the fact that you believe that you've seen texts that are private correspondence.
These ones aren't iCloud, but these are her private messages that have been sent around and were emailed to us.
If you call Gigi and say, if you call Gigi and say, we have information.
They're crossing out names of who's in it.
Wait. Wait, hold on, John. There's two people talking. Hold on. Okay, go ahead, John.
We have information
I swear
that you
we
see private
listened to this
texts
part already, right?
that have been shared
Why
with
does
you
it keep replaying
Lauren's
shit?
iCloud account, which, by the way, is a crime. That's illegal. It's a federal crime because we're going to press.
I'm gonna let this play for a minute.
state
I
lines.
got to go just unlock the door and I'll be right back.
Well, I don't enforce federal crime either, so the FBI would probably have to get involved with this.
I agree. There's actually two federal crimes here. But, yes, I know the FBI meant it to jump in.
Because this may be more FBI than local.
That's what I'm thinking. I don't know.
We all agree with that. But my biggest concern, though, John, is if Henderson police calls, because this isn't their jurisdiction, they're not federal, and they say to Gigi, we don't know if there's a crime that's been committed if she asks. Then it goes further. And if he's still trying to figure that out, he can't say there's been a crime that's been committed if he's still...
Have you submitted anything to the FBI at all yet?
No,
we made a police report in
Arizona in April when this first started.
Yeah.
And what'd they say?
They listened and took a record and then said, would you want to press charges?
And we said yes, and we didn't hear back, and then things kind of died down, so we thought everything was done.
Have you contacted them recently? Because here's the thing, if this started when you guys were in Arizona, and they already gave a police report, doing a multiple 2 times, 3 times police reports don't make sense. And now it feels like that's what I'm kind of doing.
Okay. The reason I called you is because we live here. We were in Arizona on a business trip.
Okay.
And so that was why I got them involved while we were there, because I was worried about her safety. She had somebody physically coming out threatening her at the courthouse.
Video for a few minutes, because I swear I keep hearing the same part over and over again. It's just so weird. I haven't listened to these just in their entirety. I just listened to bits and pieces here and there, and I don't know. And I have a very short attention span, so when I get bored, I just forward it a little bit. So that's what I do. this part.
I know there's the threat of the possibility, but the possibility doesn't take place. There's not a lot we can do until they pull it, until they do that. Okay. So yes, there are crimes that would be committed if they crossed that line.
Okay.
But the threat of saying we're going to, release information, that's not necessarily a crime. It's not a crime until they do it. Does that make sense?
I'm not even sure it's a crime until they do it. It depends on the information and depends on if it's a result of like an attempted extortion or, bribery or whatever. I don't know.
So
there is some information that has been released, texts. Like we haven't seen it, but it's being.
No, we've seen the text. We have mailed texts from people.
Okay.
But they're not threatening text or anything like that.
No, we just have her private messages that have been sent out.
Okay. So who did they get sent out to?
They got sent out to Gigi. They got sent out to Christina. They got sent out to Kay. We know that. They got sent out to.
So any one of those that you sent text messages to could have copied them and sent them.
It's.
And that's where we're at.
Oh,
You
no,
have
those messages weren't sent to those people. We're saying the people that took her messages sent those to those people.
I need to know the original messages that you're saying were stolen. Who do they go to?
Who did they go to or who sent them?
Who you sent them, right? It was between you and somebody else.
That's what you're saying. I sent them between Stephanie and Colette.
Stephanie and Colette. And who are Stephanie and Colette?
My old employees.
Okay, so they're text messages to them.
Correct.
So if those are the text messages that she's under the belief that are about to be or being threatened to be exposed, then wouldn't they have had to come from Stephanie and Colette in a sense? Like they may not be the ones putting them out there publicly, possibly. They could have just forwarded them or sent them to someone else. But ultimately, they're the ones who received these messages and therefore put them elsewhere. So don't you kind of already know who had a hand in this? Not saying that what they did was wrong, but I mean, why are you calling the cops to try to figure it out when it's kind of obvious, And again, so what?
So it's their text messages to them, not just yours.
My text messages to them. They have.
It's the combined text message. It's conversation. They're not just yours. It's yours and theirs. It's a conversation.
Private.
Okay.
Oh.
So what was copied then from that? Can you show me again what you have?
And then you can show them that thing that Colette taped us. Yeah.
Like, seriously, look at this apartment and shit. Like, what's going on here? And as you're going to see the camera, like, span around the room and shit. How many pieces of furniture does she have in this one room? Like, everywhere you look, there's just, like, a block of a chair with a cushion just sticking out somewhere. Like, it's like a maze. You have to walk around all this shit just to get to the other side of the room. Like, and what's up with all the blankets and shit? And is she in pajamas? See, this is why I think she's living there, okay? Or staying there for an extended period of time, meaning more than a day or something. Like, she didn't just, like, get drunk or something and pass out. Or she's not there to, like, because, like, her home's being fumigated or some shit, Like, it looks like she's settled. My opinion, and I'm solely basing this off of what I see in front of me. There's nothing else to give me that inclination, but what I'm seeing in front of me is a pretty strong inclination,
Because here's the thing: if I can't, you send an email out, right? And if it goes to
it's like she just crawled right back up in her bed. No.
4 different people, that means any of those 4 people could have made a copy of it. And shared it with somebody, who shared it with somebody, who shared it with somebody. And then did you share it with a news organization? Did you share it with another company? Because if you shared it with a news organization, let's say, or government entity, those people are open to FOIA requests. So next thing you know, anybody can get access to that stuff.
Right. Sorry.
So when we send emails and text messages, they're never private. They really aren't.
She's like sitting over there all pouting and shit. Like, yeah, whatever.
They're expected to be held private, hopefully. But especially when it goes to government entities and stuff like that, if anybody sends me an email to my military, well, it used to be military, to my City of Henderson email, somebody can do a FOIA request asking for all my emails.
Correct.
Yes.
I didn't send these to any media.
Okay, so who did you send it to then?
Stephanie and Colette.
Isn't she media? Isn't she media? Doesn't she look and consider herself to be media? Therefore, her employees would be media, especially at the time that she sent them things, regarding her and her media. So
people only.
Yes. Yeah, they're on my private cell phone to their private cell phone.
Okay.
the device don't matter. If it's the email server to the email server, it doesn't matter what fucking device you use to pull it up. I mean, a lot of people look at their shit on their desktop computer, which the whole family will use. So, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's no official email. There's
So
no
so that's
official
so those are emails and text messages?
text messages.
Just text messages only?
Yes.
Okay. The email part of it, although they're saying they're going to release information, did it say they're going to release emails or release the text? So nothing about emails whatsoever then?
No, they're sending emails.
Okay, I'm just double checking.
Yeah, so they're sending.
Making sure I get this right.
They're sending emails threatening to release my private text.
The private texts. Okay. And so you think the private texts that they're threatening to send are the ones that you had with these two ex-employees?
Correct. Yes.
Okay, and what's their names?
Stephanie. Or
Is
Stephanie.
that-
She also goes by Stephanie.
Stephanie PH?
Here then, I think fat. What was it?
And she lives in Nevada, I'm guessing, or no?
No, she lives in.
Okay. What's her phone number?
Chris Rock. No, Chris Tucker. It was Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan, right? That was the. No, it wasn't. No. Oh my God, I'm an idiot. It was Charlie Sheen. It was a different movie. Charlie Sheen and Oh, I forgot. Oh my God, it's gonna bug the hell out of me. Heather Locklear was in it too. I gotta know.
Okay, and then who did you say the other person was?
The other person is Colette. That she also goes by. I don't know what her legal name is.
Okay.
Okay, whatever. Movie. Money Talks. That's what it was. It was Chris Tucker. Okay, I got that part right.
Okay. She lives.
No.
Okay. You don't happen to know birth dates or anything like that? Just stretching it.
No, I think I could figure out. Yeah, Stephanie. Birthday.
Okay.
Can you try to look up?
And the reason I'm rehashing this is because both of you are coming with different information from different angles and stuff like that. So, certain things are crimes. So, like defamation, let's say, right? Although it hasn't happened yet, it's false information, intended ridicule or for hatred purposes and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So, but nothing's been released. So it's not
disseminated privately. Yeah.
it's not released to the media per se or put out there.
Thank you so much, MB Gilbert. Sorry. For explaining that to me. I never even heard of the term. I didn't even know that this was something you could do, but they go on to explain BCC or blind copy is when you send an email to someone and you include someone in that email which is blind to all the other people. In other words, no one else can see they are receiving the emails. No shit, I never even knew that. That's crazy. Okay. Thank you so much for explaining that to me. I had no clue.
We had a recording with Gigi this morning. She called Gigi, and Gigi said it has been released to the media and to brace ourselves. And
Okay, so once again, it had to be several things. Hatred is one of them. Being ridicule, false are these. If it's just text messages, then it's not false, right? So that's where I'm going with this. So defamation.
She's just sitting over there. She's like all defeated and shit. Like she's so mad. They're not gonna be arrested. Damn it. She's probably like sitting there thinking, what's it going to take for me to just see them in handcuffs? Like, try being nice to them, maybe. I don't know.
Defamation has to fall, a certain standard of the person, the reason for defamation. So
publicly that I talk shit about victims, which simply isn't.
Well, you can talk. I can talk publicly about anybody about that kind of stuff. So that's not a crime. So that's why I'm trying to fine tune this to find that kind of stuff.
Publicly that I.
A certain standard of the person, the reason for defamation. So
publicly that I talk shit about victims, which simply isn't.
well, you can talk. I can talk publicly about anybody about that kind of stuff. So that's not a crime.
So she's just automatically assuming that they're going to say that she talks shit about victims, but she's kind of proven that she does because of how fucking uptight and worried she is about this shit getting out. Unless she said things worse than talking shit about victims, like what might be worse than that though? I wonder, because it could be worse. Like why are you so fucking scared? You know. But on that note, I am going to have to end the live stream right now because I have to go to work. I will not. I don't. Well, maybe I'll be live streaming later. We'll see what time I get home. It won't be before 1 a.m. though. I have to work both bars tonight, so yeah. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, I picked up a second job. That's why I haven't been online all that much, but it's just, well, I mean, I'm going to keep the second job for like 1 or 2 nights a week, but it's like 4 nights a week right now, kind of, sort of, because it's the month of December, so, but after Christmas and New Year's and shit, it's gonna die down some. Like, January's always like the worst month of the year for like every bar, you know, so, which sucks. But, oh well. So, I'm going to wrap this up now. But I will be back on, say, Thursday? I don't think I'll be here tomorrow. Probably Saturday afternoon. Because I was supposed to work Saturday afternoon, but now I switched with someone. She needed the night off. So, I'll be working Saturday night. So, probably Saturday afternoon. Or maybe tonight. We'll see. I don't know. I never know when I'm going to stream. So, just turn on the notifications and you'll know. All right. On that note, I'm going to get out of here. Let me just check chat before I do. Okay, cool. She seems entitled. Have a good shift. Thank you. Yeah, she is definitely entitled. Like, I'm going to do more entitlement translator videos on her because she makes it so, like, she makes it easier than Katie Joy does. For real. I just haven't had time. So, all right, guys, thanks for